It looks like it's struggle bussin'. Good morning, Facebook. You were struggle bussin' just a little bit. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thursday. So I've been up this morning watching a tiny bit of the recovery from Hurricane Milton. And I'm so grateful that the people that I know in Florida are all safe and fine. One, actually, because they're a little more north, they looked like they were going to get smacked, and that's family members, and they didn't. Because it went just a tiny south, they ended up with more tropical storm. And then my girlfriend who is down there, and she was like, she's from this area, so she knows, because I'm in Minnesota. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I'm in Minnesota. We know tornadoes. We understand tornadoes. Like, that's our life, right? Like, we're more used to that in the Midwest. Well, she said the spawning of tornadoes was insanity. Insanity. Halfway through the day, she's like, please pray for us. We have all these tornadoes spawning. This is insane. And then I did watch some of the footage this morning. It was like, whoo, hey, Matt, good to see you. It was cuckoo bananas. The video and footage coming out of the wall coming in and the tornadoes that were spawning. And I'm like, yikes, hola. So anyway, praise God. It was like, I think it downgraded to a 3 before it hit land. And then it fairly quickly went to a 2 and a 1. If I'm incorrect in that, I apologize. That's just some of the information that I was hearing. And, all that third-party information, we never, we could be like spreading stuff that's not true. I don't know for sure. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because we were definitely praying for Florida yesterday. Anyway, okay. So good to see you guys. Today, we're going to talk about sleep. If you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay and let me know where you're coming in from. I would love to know. And let's see, housekeeping. Monday, we're starting the challenge. It's the 17th free 5-day challenge. You might have gotten an email from me just letting you know that it's starting on Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not on my email list and you want to be, you can always just reach out to me and let me know if you want to be updated on stuff. But Monday, you guys, another 5-day challenge. So this is where I feel like you guys get the best nuggets for your own brain. Like, you're able to, and it's in the group, by the way, ditch insulin resistance for women. Ditch insulin resistance for women. And because you can't take everything in all at once. Nobody ever does that. We don't just like take in all this information. We take in pieces that we can apply, and then, we kind of like do it just a little bit at a time. So when I switched everything, good morning, Lori. Thank you so much for liking the live. I so appreciate you. You know that I do. I'm able to then I was able to trade out one ingredient, one recipe, etc. And I just want you guys to know that that's not only okay, that's like a success principle. If you've ever read the book, The Compound Effect, The Slight Edge, read those books and understand how little, like The Compound Effect, little actions daily over time, when you are consistent, actually have a compound effect. Think about compounding interest with your money. A penny a day put away over the course of a month instead of, oh man, I'm going to get this wrong. Why did I even start the analogy? The question is, would you like to be given $1 million or a penny doubled every day for a month? And actually the answer is a penny doubled every day for a month. And I forget what the answer ends up to be, but it's a lot. So the point being that it compounds. So this is the exact same thought process. And if you can grasp this mental thought process, that if you just do, you'll feel like you're not doing enough, because you'll think, how can this possibly add up? I used to have to like power through and go cold turkey and be this crazy person, and and then beat myself up when I couldn't follow the program or the thought process for myself, like for more than 2 weeks. Like, that's not how this works. So I'm really grateful that I took my own journey for myself inside of my head. And then I remember enough to be able to share it with you because then seriously, I'm able to go, oh no, this is exactly what I did. And I know that another success principle sounds like you, Lisa. What sounds like you? That you're good at doing a little bit oh no, beating yourself. I know. That's because we've been programmed to do that. We've been so programmed to feel like we're failures if we can't like just go cold turkey and make this work. We think that everybody out there is having overnight success. No, it's like 5-year overnight success, 8-year overnight success. It's a journey. You have to like embrace that, right? But another success principle is finding somebody who has done what you want and then doing what they did. And if you're not willing to do what they did, then don't expect to get results that you're not getting. Does that make sense? Was that a little bit of a riddle today? That's a little bit of a riddle. Good morning, Cheryl. So I apply that, apply that in your life when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to like if you're wanting to run a business, like I run a business, if you're wanting to like follow somebody else's financial success principles, if you're wanting to follow somebody else's health principles, you don't take advice on, your health if from somebody who's sick. That's not how that works, right? It's the opposite. You know what I mean. You're not confused. So those are your success principles for this morning. Let's get into talking about sleep today, because I'm telling you, y'all aren't sleeping. You are not sleeping, and you have to fix your sleep. Good morning, Carol. Good to see you. And I feel like, and I know this because every time I do like a reel or something, people are like, I need to know how to sleep. Well, again, it's not probably an overnight fix for everybody, but let's just start with the very basic conversation. Nope. I take it you're not sleeping, Cheryl. The basic conversation is this. If you can understand your root cause, I hit the nail right on the head, Lisa. I know, I'm sorry. If you can understand that potentially, if you're on my content, it's because you're insulin resistant or you think you're insulin resistant and you need to fix it. So we view everything here through the lens of insulin resistance. You have to turn it around. That is number one. But there are tools that you can use. So let's just talk about that a little bit to see if we can't help people. This seems like it's just like bending down. There we go. A little bit of weight on my iPad today, I guess. Anyway. So when you have insulin resistance, this is how it is affecting your sleep. So let's understand the basics first, because then I am convinced that when you then find natural formulas or natural helpers or things like that, you will actually be consistent, because you will believe that they're going to like switch things around for you and actually help you. Okay. So blood sugar fluctuations. When the body becomes insulin resistant, it struggles to maintain stable blood sugar levels. This can lead to nighttime hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. I was hypoglycemia with my second baby. Or hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar. Both of which can make you wake up or make it difficult to stay asleep. So you're having these fluctuations in the middle of the night and you're thinking, why do I keep waking up? Why is this happening? It's because your blood sugar is roller coastering in one way or another. It's either dipping too low or it's going too high, and it's waking up your system. Okay. You're ordering the ashwagandha. You found out that taking the magnesium and D3K2 at bedtime will cause insomnia. What? Fascinating, Carla. I did not know that. And that's interesting because I never do take my D3K2 at bedtime. Okay. Well, then you're about to hit a really good journey, aren't you? Your Fitbit says overnight 4 hours, 35 minutes for the past 30 days. That's tough. That is tough. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're going to do the ashwagandha. Yeah. Order the ashwagandha. I'll mention that today because that has been a game changer for me, and it's a good one. It's a good one. All right. So blood sugar fluctuations. Number 2, disrupted melatonin production. And we know about melatonin. We talk about that all the time in our society as a whole. Melatonin is a common conversation. Insulin plays a role in regulating melatonin. Okay. So insulin is a hormone. Melatonin is a hormone, which is responsible for sleep. So again, I can't say it enough. This is not, even though calories play a part in our universe, I get it. But anybody who comes onto my content and says, and I don't mean you guys here, I mean like on a reel, somebody will say, it's all about calorie in, calorie out, and that's all that matters. No, it's not. It's a hormonal conversation. Weight gain or the inability to lose weight or the inability to sleep or the inability to function. This is a hormonal conversation. It's all about hormones. The hormone that tells you that you're full, the hormone that regulates, your insulin is a hormone, cortisol is a hormone, stress hormone, and I mean, all of it, melatonin. So insulin resistance can disrupt this process, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep because your insulin is playing a role in regulating your melatonin. Now, what I do want to pause and say is that oftentimes people will say to me, I'm not insulin resistant. My sugars are just fine. Okay. 2 conversations. Please listen to this. If you're not sure on this, if this has been confusing to you, let's clear it up. Number 1, you have insulin. I'll put insulin over here. You have insulin. It's being released by your pancreas. It's a hormone. It has a job. Its job is to use glucose for fuel. That's what its job is to go and get the fuel. It runs out there and it gets the fuel and then it puts it in the stove, which is your cell. So you have insulin. When you continue to spike your sugars and you do too much and the insulin is like, I can't make enough insulin to grab enough of the glucose to get it into the cell. And then the cell is saying no more. And I'm going to store everything extra as fat. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to get more. And I'm going to keep making more insulin. Like you've got 2 different things going on. So your glucose can stay low for a very, very long time while your insulin is rising. Okay. So hormone, blood glucose level. Number 1 that I just said was that your blood sugars are fluctuating over here and it might be waking you up. It's either too high or it's dipping too low. It's waking you up. Insulin over here now we're talking about the hormone. That is another reason why you could be having a hard time sleeping. Thank you, Cheryl. You're amazing. I appreciate you. And when I did that, I got hearts on my Instagram. So double bonus. Not that it does anything for me on Instagram, but that's okay. So your insulin is trying to regulate your melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. And the process is getting disrupted, okay, because of insulin resistance. So sugars, insulin, 2 different conversations. You're looking for the blood glucose test at your doctor. That's what they're doing for you. They're not telling you about your insulin, your fasting insulin, which is a hormone. That's the problem. That's the confusion. That's it. That's as simple as it is. This is actually really simple. You're getting a different set of information, and this can be high for a long, long time. I was insulin resistant for you can be insulin resistant for decades. But because it's a hormone, they're not giving you a hormone panel or fasting insulin. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. What did I miss? Oh, hi, Magda. Good morning. Okay. So D3K2 should be taken in the morning. Yeah. And I usually do. So that's interesting, right? But I never knew that it would cause Cheryl was saying that it was, no, Carla was saying that it was causing insomnia. So I didn't know that. I've never done it that way. Okay, hold on. You said, nope, you had to pay for it. Oh, yep. She's saying she had to pay for her fasting insulin. You guys, it's so frustrating. And I know that, and I'm sorry. But if nobody comes along and just tells you the truth, like I said yesterday, you are going to have to reallocate your resources because they will give you everything free that is not necessarily helpful, like the scripts. Or they'll give you the blood glucose test, but not the fasting insulin test, because you could find out years in advance before your blood sugar ever gets high if you just paid for your own fasting insulin test. Just freaking do it. Just embrace the fact that they're not going to give you what you need because they want you to pay for, it's the whole they keep you sick conversation, and it's real. That just keeps on sliding down. Anyway, so blood sugar fluctuation, disrupted melatonin because of your insulin, increased stress hormones. So now here we are talking about hormones again, cortisol. Insulin resistance often triggers a stress response in the body, increasing cortisol levels, which are linked to poor sleep, high cortisol levels, especially at night, and they prevent the body from entering a restorative sleep phase. And the last one is inflammation and sleep apnea. Insulin resistance is associated with increased inflammation and obesity, both of which can contribute to sleep apnea. Sleep apnea interrupts sleep cycles, leading to poor sleep quality and fatigue. So, why is insulin resistance messing you up? Blood sugar, melatonin being disrupted because of high insulin, increased cortisol, and inflammation. Okay? We literally talk about all of these issues all the time. This is almost a comprehensive conversation. Like, this is how we actually address targeting all of your supplements and targeting what you're doing so that you're not just being willy-nilly, that you actually are fixing some of these stuff in your body. Okay. So so now a lot of people are on scripts, right? That's kind of common. And there are dangers associated with that. And so we're going to go through that, but then let's talk about natural ways that you can actually deal with things like that. Yeah, Cheryl is saying that her endo doc actually told her no when she asked. Oh my stars. And I think that I might be wrong. I don't know for sure, but I think that there are places like LabCorp or something like that where you can just order some of your own tests. I could be wrong. I think you can a la carte some tests from places. I could be wrong. Okay. Claudette, good morning. Okay, hold on. You guys are going to pause for a scheduled commercial here. Hold on. It's not a commercial. Claudette says, we survived the hurricane and tornadoes here in Florida, staying with my son and his wife right now. I couldn't miss any valuable information that you give us all the time. Claudette! Oh, Claudette. Oh my gosh. No, you're not supposed to watch me if you're recovering from a hurricane. Who was it that was on the beach the other day? They're like, I'm watching you from the beach. Enjoy the ocean and the beach. You guys are hysterical. Claudette, thank you for giving me that update. It means a lot to me because I actually have a lot of customers in Florida. I have family and friends. I have it all. We've been tracking so many people. And so I'm so incredibly grateful that everybody's life is whoo. I mean, I haven't heard bad things yet. I obviously haven't dug too deeply, yet this morning, but wow. So thank you for telling me that. And Claudette, you are freaking amazing. So your daughter is with you? Is she with you? Cause she's also, I know you guys together you guys are like a little dynamo duo here, mother-daughter. I love that so much. Okay. So basically, dangers of prescription sleep meds. So you know what? Again, remember, we do everything without shame. No shame in the game. No shame. We just assess and we understand why something is maybe not working for us or why it is working for us, and we move forward. So this is no dissing on anybody that's on sleep medications. We literally have had a society that has created the situation, and we need to now just move forward. It's just like the same thing as being on all of the scripts for type 2. When you don't like the side effects, or they're not working anymore, we need a different answer, okay? But it's true, we need you and your information, Suzette. You're awesome. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. I'm not crying, you're crying. You guys are amazing. Seriously, I just really love you guys. So dangers of prescription sleep medications. Prescription sleep medications such as, I don't know if I can say these. Well, that's not actually the name of a script, but a benzodiazepine and a sedative hypnotic are often used to treat insomnia, but they come with risks. So these would be some of the risks: dependence and addiction. Many scripts sleep aids are habit forming over time. Individuals may require higher doses to achieve the same effect, leading to dependency. Number 2, they can impair cognitive function. Long-term use of sleep medications can lead to memory issues, confusion, reduced cognitive function, and especially in older adults. Okay. And I know that even with my mom, because of her dementia, we did give her sleep aids at night because dementia messes you up altogether. But she was already, 90 years old. So, but we noticed, that was harder It's harder on people. Number 3, side effects. Common side effects include dizziness, headaches, and daytime drowsiness. I literally can't take anything like that. I can't even take melatonin. I'll get into that in just a second. Like, it makes me drunk. I am such a lightweight. Some medications can cause sleepwalking and other parasomnias. Isn't that interesting? They can induce sleepwalking. And then rebound insomnia. Once you stop taking sleep medications, insomnia can return even worse than before, making it hard to wean off of them. So that's just something to really know. Okay. So if you're taking those and you're trying to get off, I have never been on scripts, so I don't really have any advice as to how to shift over, but I can just give you some natural thought processes. And of course, the first one would be reverse your insulin resistance, because you have to stop the fluctuation of your blood sugars. You have to stop your insulin, your high insulin, from messing with your natural melatonin hormone. Like, you need to come into alignment. And I feel like I'll talk about melatonin first then. Let's just do it. Because my melatonin must be very stable in my body. And the reason why I say that is because about 3 years ago, we launched a melatonin gummy. And I mean, the first few times that I took it, I was like, this is amazing. I mean, because it just made you feel all warm and fuzzy, and then you slept so sound. But it was making me so drowsy until noon the next day. And I'm like, I can't do this. So then I went from 2 gummies down to 1 gummy, and then I went from 1 down to a half, and then literally a quarter. It just wipes me out. Now, if anybody's a melatonin user and you love melatonin, do I have a melatonin gummy for you? I mean, it's amazing, but I just can't do it because I must have balanced melatonin hormone. Does that make sense? So that doesn't work for me. Now I have somebody else in my life who, she's a mom. And so they even have melatonin for children, right? So she was doing that, but after a while she said that it didn't work for him. So she switched him to something else. And I'll tell you about that here in just a minute. That really, 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 really is working for him. But anyway, so melatonin, for those of you who need it or you love it, and this is, you'll be interested in this, 50 to 75% effective for going to sleep, especially in people with insomnia or jet lag. So that might be a reason why you have melatonin on hand. And it helps, hold on. Oh man, it didn't give me all the information there. It was going to give me that information and it didn't. Okay, so that's melatonin. Then magnesium. Okay, so that melatonin was 50 to 75%. Magnesium is a higher percent of help, 75 to 85% effective. Magnesium supports relaxation by calming your nervous system and regulating sleep hormones like melatonin. Magnesium deficiency is linked to poor sleep, making supplementation a key remedy. Now, remember, I was telling you yesterday, I actually don't have a good magnesium glycinate in my line. The minute they get another one back in my line, trust me, I'll tell you about it, but I'm going to show you what I do take. You don't have trouble falling asleep. You have trouble staying asleep. Yep. And that could be, Rosanna, of course, I don't know your issues, but that could be blood sugar fluctuation, too high or too low, and it wakes you up. And that might be a piece of the puzzle. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think I'm good right there. Okay. Magnesium glycinate. There are many forms, right? But the glycinate form is very absorbable. It's bioavailable. And it really helps to take you down a few notches. Okay. So I take magnesium glycinate at night before I go to bed. I take it with my ashwagandha. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's another conversation. But the magnesium glycinate is a really good magnesium to look for. If you are trying to help with your constipation at the same time, get a glycinate citrate blend of some sort. This is the one that I get in TikTok. I got to be careful with you guys because if I show this, they sell this on the TikTok shop and they will think I'm trying to sell it and whatever. They'll try to regulate me because they think I don't need to explain it. It's just, they're kind of a pain in the tuchus that way. But this is, I'll show it to you kind of briefly. but it is a magnesium. If you can see it, oh, you guys can still see it. You guys can still see it right over here on the edge of the screen, right there, right there. So basically it's Maggenin, Maggenin. This is a blend that I've been using since May, and I really like it. It is a glycinate, citrate, taurate blend, 3 different magnesiums. Okay. Now remember, it said that magnesium has a 75 to 85% effectiveness, higher than melatonin. Taking magnesium matters. When somebody asked me yesterday, how much do I take? I take 2 of these, which is the recommended amount. And that is giving me 1,000 milligrams of this blend, just to give you an idea. Okay. Now, the next, so again, magnesium supports relaxation by calming your nervous system and regulating your sleep hormones like melatonin. Magnesium deficiency is linked to poor sleep, making supplementation a key remedy. You have to supplement for it. I'm going to then move to L-theanine because I have L-theanine in this blend. Okay. So L-theanine is an amino acid. The blend that I used to have in my line, I'm so sad they took it away. It was my favorite. It was a glycinate L-theanine blend. That's why I loved it so much. And that's why one of the reasons why I chose this blend. And not knowing its purity, or because I think about stuff like that. I don't know about them being third-party tests and all that stuff. They're made in the USA. That made me happy. Okay. I'm just telling you my brain thought process. Now, L-theanine, 65 to 75% effective. Low juice on you guys. An amino acid found in tea, L-theanine promotes relaxation without sedation. That should make us happy to think about. I mean, it doesn't make us like tired the next day. It's effective at reducing anxiety and enhancing sleep quality. Okay, so I have the 2 in 1. I have magnesium and L-theanine in here. This blend is Maggenin, Maggenin. You can get it off of the TikTok shop. I should probably sell it off of there, but I don't. Or Amazon. Okay. And let's see, did anybody? Nope. Good morning, Tanya. Good to see you. Look at you taking back your life. Good girl. So would it be okay to take that blend in the morning and then and that is just magnesium glycinate at bedtime? This is glycinate. Oh, I see. I think I have to have you clarify on that, Carol. So would it be okay to take that blend in the morning and then take one that is just glycinate at bedtime? I would play around with that. I think that this is me now. Remember, I'm sensitive. I'm a lightweight. When I take L-theanine like this with that magnesium glycinate, that would make me tired because it does calm you down, brings you down. So I personally would not take a glycinate L-theanine during the day. That's me. I'm a lightweight. You may not notice any different at all. And you might still just notice the benefits of magnesium. So I think that answers that. I hope so. Then the next one that I'm going to talk about is ashwagandha, because ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb and it's known for sleep, stress, and mood. Okay. Now, what I ended up doing was I ended up switching from I'll talk to about the next one, which is a valerian root. I'll talk to you about that here in just a second. Valerian root is an herb that's helpful for sleep. I used to take a blend with the valerian root in it, but instead now what I'm doing is I'm doing my magnesium blend with ashwagandha. Okay. And I have an excellent ashwagandha. Very I have to hold it in front of me so you can see it maybe. I take one in the morning and then I take one at bedtime. It does not make you feel tired, but it works on your systems that help you to sleep better. When I started taking 2 of these magnesiums and one ashwagandha at night and then one in the morning, my sleep has just ever since doing that has been amazing. And again, there's a piece of that puzzle where ashwagandha is helping you with your cortisol. That's the stress component. And like I read earlier, that's a piece of why you're not sleeping. Potentially, it's your cortisol levels. So ashwagandha will help with the cortisol levels, also with your sleep ability. And I mix that with my magnesium blend. This has been my answer. Everybody's going to have different answers because this is not one size fits all for sleep. Prior to doing the ashwagandha, and man, I'm telling you, you guys, the ashwagandha that I have, and I know Carla said she was going to order that, USDA organic certified. So you're not putting toxins of plants into your body, okay? Which you don't want your body to work harder than it already is. Super potent, super helpful, amazing. I'll put that down. Now, before that, I was using this with the valerian blend. So if you're on my site, you can look up sleep health, okay? You can look up ashwagandha for ashwagandha. You can look up sleep health for the one I'm going to talk about right now. That is a valerian and hops blend. I loved that blend for 2 years. And I still would go back to that blend. If the ashwagandha got taken away from me or something, or I didn't have whatever, I would go back because I do love it very much. And I'm going to tell you why valerian root is so effective. So 60 to 70% effectiveness. Valerian root is a traditional herbal remedy for insomnia and anxiety. While its effectiveness varies, many people report improved sleep onset and quality. So I would take 3 of those at night with my 2 magnesiums. And I would just, within about maybe a half an hour, I would just feel myself go like this, just, but not the one that kind of came with the melatonin that made me feel groggy and like I was drunk in the middle of the night. Melatonin makes me really like kind of stumbly and then foggy the next day. No fogginess the next day with the valerian and hop blend, and no feeling drunk in the middle of the night. Definitely, though, like a shutting down of your systems to go to sleep. Okay. And I love that. Now, I will make one more note on that one. The valerian and hop blend, I have a mom who was using a melatonin for her child. And she said, he just can't do that anymore. This is bad. This is not working. And that was something she was working on with like her doctor or something. And then she said, can I test him some of that valerian and hops and see how that works for him? And I said, well, of course. So I, gave her some. She said, oh, this is working for him. This is good. So that's something that she chose. I'm going to be really honest. I don't remember. It might say 12 and above on that. And he's not a young kid. So she's making her own choice on that. He might be 10, 11. He's close. But anyway, my point being, I'm not talking about giving it to a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. Like, don't be doing that. You got to follow instructions. But that worked for her. So herbal remedy, this particular one is both valerian and hops, and it's called Sleep Health if you care about that. Passion flower is 60 to 70% effective. And the melatonin gummies, I believe that I have passion flower in them. Known for its calming effects, passion flower can reduce insomnia and improve sleep quality, especially in those with anxiety-induced sleep issues. Super interesting. And then the last one is glycine, 70 to 80% effective. This amino acid improves sleep by lowering core body temperature. Oh, this is interesting. Which helps you fall asleep faster and enhances your sleep quality. That's interesting. I didn't know that. This doesn't have glycine in it, does it? I don't think so. It does have some chamomile in it. Nope, I don't see glycine. Okay, but that's a very interesting piece of the puzzle, isn't it? I love learning stuff like that. Okay, so I feel like that is a very good rounded thought process. So you can use natural things like magnesium, melatonin, L-theanine, valerian root, passion flower, and glycine. They all have different percentages of how much they'll help you. And you honestly do need to find out what works for you. Like I was saying, I was using magnesium with the sleep health. That was one blend. I switched that out. Now I'm doing the magnesium and the ashwagandha. That's making my life so happy right now. But you have to find out what's helping you. And because it's the root issue, right? So sometimes people, their sleep gets, when I talk about the trio, the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity, just by turning back your insulin resistance, you could definitely find a way to be able to sleep better. That might be all you needed. You might not need extra, like bells and whistles. You might be able to just figure it out that way, right? But everybody's going to respond just a little bit differently. And again, it's going to make a huge difference if you do the second part of what I teach. I always teach 2 things, right? In targeted supplementation, this is all about insulin resistance. Everything that I just talked to you about, it's all because insulin resistance is messing up your sleep. It's freaking messing you up. And we're not targeting the core conversation of potentially why our sleep is messed up. It's hormonal. It's insulin, cortisol, melatonin. It's all hormones. So if you start with the root, in my opinion, and from everything that I read, the number 1 hormone to target so that you can finally lose weight, so that you can sleep better, so that you can have a better mood, so that you can have like better function, so that you can have lower inflammation, so that you can avoid type 2, so that you can like all of the things. It's insulin. We have too high of an insulin hormone in our bodies, and we have to turn it around. And then everything else begins to fall in place, but it does take time to bring down what has been high maybe for a really long time. By the time it shows up in your blood glucose levels that you have sugar issues, you've had high insulin for a long time. If you have gone through a stressful time in your life, maybe it was a divorce, maybe it was a dementia parent, maybe it was a job loss, maybe it was you moved, maybe you just went through a freaking hurricane, and you have high cortisol. It takes time to like because this is a healing process. I never ever want to come across as here's a magic answer. It's so easy. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. It's like a well-oiled machine when it was created, right? So we're trying to get back to being a functioning engine again. And it just depends on how bad of shape your engine is when you take it into the repair shop. It just depends. And so we can come at this from many different directions. And I'm going to tell you right now, I do have people that they want everything because they want to be able to like go fast and they want to be able to fix things, or they just know they have a lot. But some people just want to like dip their toe in the water. Perfect. Take one step. Maybe you're only going to start with your food. Perfect. Take that step. Get into the group. Ditch insulin resistance for women. Get in there. You'll get tagged in a free recipe pantry PDF. We'll do a challenge every month. We're doing our 17th one starting next week on Monday. I'll go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will talk about insulin resistance and ingredient trade-outs and pantry and fridge and a recipe. We'll do all the things. And maybe that's where you want to start. But then maybe you're thinking, I need to actually deal with my insulin resistance. Like I have got to get my insulin and my sugars down so that I can finally move forward. You've got sugar issues. You know that you've got something is just like you have been keto for 3 years, whatever that means. It's very subjective. I understand. You have been, and you just cannot get that 1 pound to budge. Maybe you've even been on meds and you've gotten your A1C down and you're like, what is going on? Why doesn't the scale move? And I would say, I would give the trio a shot. That so many times people have said to me, I have even been on keto for 3 years straight and I cannot budge a pound anymore. Like I stalled out. Number one, of course, we talk about more of a Maria Emmerich style keto instead of a fad keto. That's number one. But number two, it might just be, maybe you need a jump start. I don't know. Like sometimes people's bodies they stall out and you need a little bit of help. Well, that's when I talk about the trio. And when I do talk about that, we're talking about One that you take 3 times a day has your trace minerals in it. You're just replenishing your trace minerals that you're deficient in. And then they throw in a couple of herbs that help you with your sugar cravings and your appetite. One is for your liver. Did you know that your liver is helping you to dump excess cortisol, dump excess bad estrogen, regulate your hormones, regulate your blood glucose? Like your liver, you can't lose fat if your liver is tired and toxic. So that might be a reason you're stuck. You might be stuck because your insulin and your sugars are high. You might be stuck because your liver is tired and toxic, or visceral belly fat and metabolism. That's kind of like the core of what I talk about all day, every day, because I just have so many testimonies of people's dawn phenomenon, morning sugars coming down, finally being able to lose weight after getting their A1C down, but they're still on meds and they can't figure out why. Maybe you've even tried berberine or inositol and it wasn't enough for you. I understand. Like, these are the testimonies that come to me. Never take my word for anything. Don't do that. I have oodles of testimonies. You can take everybody else's word for stuff, okay? But if you're trying to really deal with your insulin resistance so you can finally lose weight, that's a great place to start, okay? And then some people want to talk to me about the gut primer. That has been a hot topic lately because again, the testimonies that are coming in. So if you know that you need to move along your impacted waist, and you've never tried an actual primer, not just a greens product, an actual primer with a probiotic to shift your gut, GLP-1 is created in your gut. You have to take care of your gut. And our guts are messed up because of the over-the-counter meds, the prescription meds, the food that we're eating, all of the toxins and the chemicals and the seed oils. And I mean, come on, who out there is eating 100% organic, 100%, just perfect? Not very many of us. I'm way better than I used to be. Way better. But I am constantly wanting my body to function at a different level. And I will tell you, when you get your gut figured out, it can affect your mood because of your serotonin that's created there. It can affect your weight because of the GLP-1. It can affect constipation. It can affect so many things for positive when you do something like that. But anyway, what is the primer? So the primer, Jacqueline, I love how you spelled that. Jacqueline. You just ordered yours yesterday, Suzette. I'm so excited for people. I really am. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to answer that, Jacqueline. Hold on. Carla says that this blend has taurate in it with my magnesium blend, which helps with blood sugars. Very good. So it's better to take the magnesium blend in the evening, not morning. That's my opinion, Carol. I take it at night before I go to bed with my ashwagandha. 2 magnesium, 1 ashwagandha. That's what I've been doing. And it's a lovely experience. I'm not kidding, because everybody knows what it feels like to sleep. Dr. Eric Berg says to sleep in a cool environment. So I wonder if that's why glycine is helpful. That's exactly what they were saying on here. Isn't that interesting? It cools your body down, better and better sleep. Just wondering. I think that's exactly what they're saying. Okay, so the primer, let me just chat about that for a second before I jump off. So the gut primer was launched about 60 days ago. And I knew about it about double that time. And I had a feeling that this was going to be, whatever. And I always test everything that comes out. So my husband and I both been doing it. A gut primer is like priming your gut, similar to how you would prime the walls of your home to paint or prime your face for foundation. So a greens product, greens are good, right? Because it helps your liver to create bile, and you need the bile to digest and all of these good things. But a primer, this has 6 different blends in it. It has your prebiotics and it has your postbiotics. Then it has alkaline spices, and alkaline is needed for your oral health. So the claims that they can make on it are oral health, liver health, metabolism. I'm trying to remember the rest of them, but let me just go back to the alkaline spices. For your oral health, can you imagine how you're fixing your gut and helping your oral health at the same time? Side note, stop using mouthwashes that are killing the bacteria. The bacteria starts in your mouth and needs to go down to your gut to do what it needs to do. That's a side note. So alkaline spice is good for your oral health. And also there are kidney stones that are created because of an acidic and acid in the urine. So alkaline spices, digestive enzymes, we stop creating out of our pancreas certain digestive enzymes at certain ages, etc. That's why we potentially get like right indigestion, because we're not. So we keep like trying to shoot the acid, like kill the acid with antacids, and that's actually the wrong approach. That's another conversation. I could do a live on that. Pre, post, alkaline, digestive enzymes, fiber from fruit extracts, fruit and vegetable extracts, and what's my last one? Hold on. I'm missing one. Oh, fermented greens. How could I forget that? Fermented greens, because we know this to be true, right? We want the fermented to go in there. Now, I'm just not a fermented person. Some people are. Good. Keep doing that. Sauerkraut, kimchi, all that. That's good. You're just not, whatever. But they very purposely did not put a probiotic in here. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. Why? But I'm just telling you, you guys, the testimonies, phenomenal. I'm trying so hard not to overhype. I said that on my stories this morning. I have my girlfriend that I was talking to the other night. She's just, her and her husband are just freaking out. She's like, I'm going to tell everybody about this. This is amazing. People having issues with constipation, that going away, constipation going away, indigestion going away, not taking any more Tums, sleep getting better, energy increasing, because you're moving the impacted waste through your body. And it's so necessary. And we just do too many things to our guts. Okay. So that's the gut primer. I do have people right now that are taking this container and they are doing 3 10-day resets out of it. It's meant to take daily. It's literally a GI primer daily, right? But if somebody wants to trial this, I think this is a very good idea. Go ahead and do 3 10-day resets. You're going to want to grab the probiotic. You want to take probiotic all the time. The reason why the probiotic is not in there is because probiotic strains are very sensitive. So they didn't want you to take your frother and zhuzh it up with your frother or throw it in your blender. They didn't want you to do that. They want you to know that your probiotic is very, like, they intentionally, in the one that I take, this is a powder. I stick it on my tongue, right? It has 5 strains in it. I stick it on my tongue and I swallow it. Perfect. Literally what they did was they put into it, number one, it has billions, like 6.3 billion, not millions, of live strain. They created a technology that's called Stay Alive technology. And then they created a technology called Stick to the Gut technology. That is how sensitive probiotics are. And you need billions, not just millions. And so as a society, thinking that we're going to get all of the probiotic that we need from a yogurt, probably not, right? Because we're just offsetting it too much. So anyway, that's the gut primer. The gut reset thought process is grab a primer, grab a probiotic. I have 2 of them. One is for people who have high cortisol and stress. One is for people who want just comprehensive, like I just spoke about. That's the gut reset. Really great testimonials coming in. I will start to, I need to start typing them up and getting them in a highlight bubble on my Instagram, because on my Instagram, I also have a pink highlight bubble for the trio, the supplements for the insulin resistance. And you could just sit there for a while and go through those testimonies. There's so many. And I started collecting those at the beginning of this year, for this year. So these are all fresh. They're all fresh. Jacqueline, I can send you a cart. When I get off of here, I'll send you a cart with the gut primer and the 2 probiotics in it. And you can decide which probiotic you want by yourself, for yourself. You can always ask me. Come back and ask me in Messenger, my inbox in Instagram. The reason why I put this up here today, TikTok, is because it can show you on my profile where there's an Instagram logo over there, and you can see the logo. Some people don't know that that logo is on people's profiles. It's on my profile because I can't send clickable things on the Tickety Talk. But if you go over there, I can. And then I also highlighted my site, kirstenliebelt.com, right there. Because when you get there, I tried to put up 2 pictures, but I couldn't. And I didn't have enough time. I think I have to create something in Canva. When you look at my site, it's literally just a short handful of bubbles. It's not very much. But at the very top, it says gut reset. So you'll see the cart that I'm talking to Jacqueline about. You are welcome, Jacqueline. Yeah. Suzette, I'm so excited for you. I really am. Everybody who is trying, and again, 6-month guarantee. Nobody gives you a 6-month guarantee, you guys. People will say, you guys, we have an amazing 30-day money back guarantee. Come on. Like, this is what I tell people all the time when it comes to the trio. Okay, if you already know this is a healing journey, why not do October, November, December, January? Why not go 4 months of consistency and routine and then decide whether or not you're seeing the differences that you want to see? You still have 2 months left on your guarantee. I'm just telling you, like, there's one product that I haven't even talked about yet online, like on live right here, right now. I just did it in my stories the last couple of days because my husband and I were testing it. And again, for real, I'm not trying to overhype anything. And I also don't want people to feel like they have to just have everything. That's not true. Like, that's why I want to be available to people to help you customize what you need for you. Like, if you have a cupboard filled with supplements, like your makeup drawer is filled with makeup and things that you tried and then you just threw it in the drawer and you never used again, let's not do that, because you are making a decision to reallocate your resources. You're doing it in your food and you're doing it in your supplementation. So in your food, you're choosing to not buy the Lay's potato chips and the Coca-Cola and whatever it is that you've been buying, or the box this or the bag that. I like what Dr. Ben Bickman says: no bags, no boxes, no barcodes. Eat real food. You're reallocating from all of the processed to the real. Instead, you're going to buy, ground beef. And if you can, scooch in a little bit of grass-fed ground beef, that's even better, right? But we're going to move from packaged to real. That's why I love the challenge so much, because I can show you my pantry and my refrigerator. I can show you what it looks like. I'm Italian. Nobody understands this better than I do. You're going to have to trust me on that one. Food was love. Food was life. So you will have to reallocate your resources and your mental thought process when you're shopping. When it comes to supplementation, if you are purchasing just willy-nilly, I saw this Facebook ad. My girlfriend said, I used to buy this, so I just keep buying it because I'm not, Tanya, thank you so much, whatever. And you feel like you're just maybe sending a lot of, Sharon, go to, it's my first last name, kirstenliebelt.com. You're on Instagram, so you can go to my profile, my Instagram profile, and it's right there for you. Okay. So it's right there for you. It's super easy to find. If you, for any reason, can't find it, let me know. But when it comes to supplementation, you might end up going, you know what? I am going to stop buying those gummies at Walgreens. I am going to stop following this Facebook ad that keeps showing up and promising me, whatever hormonal enlightenment. And I'm not feeling anything. Instead, let's customize for what you are actually looking for. And for anybody who does care about what I was talking about, bye, Carla. Have a great day. If you're on my site, there is a product called Ignite. Okay. Go and look at that. It is a clinical dose of an extract, and it's in a powder form that you just put on your tongue. And my husband and I have been noticing a lot of really good benefits when it comes to, I'm trying to downplay it. It helps you. It says that they're claiming this: your waist, your hips, your BMI. Okay. And I'm definitely noticing a very large difference. He's noticed the biggest difference in his love handles. I've noticed the biggest difference in my hips, narrowing, because it's targeting that. It's called Ignite for a reason. Okay. I'm just going to mention that and kind of let you guys, you can reach out to me and ask me questions and I will tell you more about it. Ignite, Suzette. Ignite. I had to have somebody. Okay. Remember when you were a kid and you would go and you would buy pixie sticks? We would buy the big ones, the ones that like you could, like they were maybe 3 feet tall and you could get the little ones, of course, but you could get these huge ones too. And they were in these big plastic tubes. Did anybody used to get those? Well, whether big or small, pixie sticks are like powdered candy. So when they launched this, I obviously have an audience of people that are insulin resistant. And I'm like, okay, this tastes like candy. And I'm looking at the ingredients and I'm like, I need to know if this is going to, because it is an extract from a very specific type of blood orange. It's literally a patented extract. And I thought, well, I'm not going to recommend it if I can't get good results off of this. And I don't check my sugars because I'm the only one in my family that avoided type 2. So I checked my sugars when I was pregnant, gestational diabetic, but I don't do that now. So I have a customer who I said, I need to have you sample this and give me results. And so she did. And I actually haven't posted them yet. I need to probably post them in my stories. She gave me her results and she goes, I would definitely take this. And she's somebody who pays attention. And I'm like, okay, that's what I needed to know because I am not looking to add anything into anybody's life that would negatively affect them. Anyway, good results. And yeah, it tastes like candy. So there's that. That's always helpful. And there you go. So Suzette, send you the link. I will do that. I will do that, Suzette. And again, do not add something to your world if you feel like that is, number one, not what you're looking for. And number two, listen, if you are doing the gut primer because you need to get your gut right, like do the gut primer and the probiotic. Like you need that probably more. I'm just saying. There's a little bit of a hesitation, but yet on the other hand, it's like, if it's literally going to help with visceral belly fat, that's a whole nother conversation. And we need that so bad because we have so much fatty liver in our country and we have so much like visceral belly fat going on. The visceral belly fat is the dangerous belly fat. It's the fat that's underneath the fat that you can pinch, and it's active. It's a hormonally active fat that is releasing inflammation into your body. So we do need to deal with it. So when they say a clinical dose of this extract, I'm kind of like, this could be really important. Anyway, there you go. Reduce waistline and love handles. I'm in, I know. And again, listen, you do your own 30-day trial. Please measure. Do your own 30-day trial. And if it's not for you, use the 6-month guarantee. Okay, there you go. Everybody can do that. So if you have any needs today, carts or anything, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out. On TikTok, if you go up here to my site, there's a phone number you can text me at. Or you can go over to Instagram, the icon up there, and get into my inbox there. Instagram, you can go into my inbox. Facebook, you can get into Messenger. You can leave comments on Facebook. They will stay there for me to see. And then you guys, they all go away. So that's how that works. And then I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll do another conversation of another issue from insulin resistance. And then on Monday, set your alarm. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group. Ditch insulin resistance for women. Let's do our 5-day challenge. It's our 17th one. 17. This has been a really great journey, and people have found so many good benefits from viewing things through the lens of insulin resistance. When you view weight loss through the lens of insulin resistance, life gets better. When you view your lack of sleep through the lens of insulin resistance, life gets better. When you view your leaky gut through the lens of insulin resistance, life gets better. Insulin resistance it's wreaking havoc on your bodies. That's why I always say, start with the trio. we've got to deal with your insulin resistance. Start with the trio. That's my recommendation. It's not the law. It's not the law. Okay. Sandy. Oh, all carts. You're hilarious, Sandy. I will do that. I'll put something special together for you. I will. Have a great day, Tanya. Everybody have such an amazing day and enjoy. If you're, if you're not in Florida, make sure you especially enjoy your day even more, knowing that you're not cleaning up from a hurricane. Okay. And if you are in Florida, God bless you. We've been praying for you. OMG. Have we been praying for Florida and telling Milton to just go back to where you came from? So I'm glad things are over. And now, here we go. Bye-bye, Carol. Have such a good day, honey. Such a good day. All right.